From the KELOLAND Digital Desk, I'm meteorologist Scott and Brian. This is Weather or Not. It's Wednesday, March 4th. Had some fog early this morning. Fog will continue to go away as we go through the morning hours, eventually giving way to mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures. Numbers will be well above average for today, forecasting highs in the 50s and 60s. And then as the storm system approaches from the west, we'll have an increasing southeast wind for tomorrow. Southeast wind is a good wind to help bring in moisture, and we'll see that with an increase in dew point temperatures. May hit the middle 40s to near 50 degrees. And then look what happens as we get into Thursday night and Friday. I think this is the best time frame to see these thunderstorms in southeastern South Dakota. So these will be scattered showers, thunderstorms, south central, southeastern KELOLAND Thursday night into Friday. And then we'll see what lingers as we get into the afternoon hours on Friday. But once those winds become north to northwest and southeastern KELOLAND on Friday, that will eventually lead to steady or falling temperatures. And speaking of falling, there's going to be a band of snow behind this system during the day on Friday. Right now, the timing is trying to stretch from northeastern South Dakota to south central South Dakota, and that's for Friday afternoon and Friday evening. So we'll continue to follow the changing weather. In the meantime, warm temperatures can be expected for today. That carries over into tomorrow. The winds right now don't look to be too much of a problem, but keep in mind those winds will increase for tomorrow. Forecast highs for today will reach the 50s and 60s, a chance for some isolated 70-degree readings in western KELOLAND, 30s for overnight lows tonight, and for tomorrow, temperatures will reach the 50s, 60s, and low 70s in central South Dakota. Forecast high in Pierre is for a high temperature of 72. Well, coming up in just a bit, we'll talk about our showers and thunderstorms as we do have that chance for severe weather. Stay with us. You're watching Weather or Not. Still looking at showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow night and going into Friday morning. We'll see how much energy is around as we go through the day on Friday. Might be able to linger a couple of those thunderstorms for Friday afternoon and Friday evening. I think right now if that happens, that'll happen across northwestern Iowa. Still going with this bullseye. I went ahead and circled it there across southeastern KELOLAND with our thunderstorm chances late in the day Thursday into Friday. And this is just a quick overview here on the European model. While on the American model tries to do the same thing, you see that showing up across eastern South Dakota, western Minnesota. And this is a precip outlook that will take us through the day on Saturday. Keep in mind, too, on the backside of this, cold enough to bring in our snow chances as we'll have that western central parts of northeastern South Dakota. I would think during the day on Friday, but you have to keep in mind, too, that our temperatures right now, middle 30s, even though some of these numbers will be steady or falling as we go through the day on Thursday, that a lot of the snow probably melt as it hits. Here's our setup, though, in the meantime. This is for tomorrow. Low-pressure system, eastern Colorado. That's a look at the outline for our chance of severe weather. Get a little bit closer. You see a lot of this coming in south of Interstate 90 into southeastern South Dakota, northwestern Iowa. Marginal risk, probably some hail out of any storms that do become severe. And then we have that slight risk highlighted in yellow. That's northern Texas going into parts of southwestern Kansas. Let's go ahead and hit the button. And this is for Friday. Look at this now. That's an enhanced risk. Severe weather outbreak looking likely in that enhanced risk from Kansas City all the way down to the south and southwest to include eastern Oklahoma. And then that's surrounded by that slight risk and still a marginal risk here into northwestern Iowa, trying to touch maybe Storm Lake over towards Spencer. So as I mentioned before, we'll see how much moisture is still around as we do get, not moisture, but instability in the atmosphere, how much energy's still around as we get into the afternoon and maybe the evening on Friday to keep these thunderstorm chances around. And right now that's trying to set up across northwestern Iowa. Still plenty to talk about. We'll dive in a little deeper with our thunderstorm chances as we do get into Thursday night and Friday. And, of course, talk about some colder air that's on its way around the middle of the month. Stay with us. You're watching Weather or Not. Welcome back to Weather or Not. Joined by meteorologist Brian Karstens now. And Brian, a lot to talk about still. We've been mentioning this. I'll let you go ahead and load your machines there. But we've been mentioning the storm energy since the beginning. Well, I think this goes even back to last week, watching the possibility for these isolated thunderstorms. This is still expected to hold true here. Now, this is Thursday night. Going into Friday morning. That's our setup right now to see these thunderstorms move across the area. Still labeling it as isolated storms, a little more numerous, I would think, to our south where we do have a little bit more energy. And that's what we're doing here. We're showing you a graphic that is measuring the amount of energy in the atmosphere. Let me go ahead and move that graphic for you. So you see how a lot of this coming in from the Gulf. We'll have a lot of moisture come in from the Gulf with this. Something that we haven't seen for quite some time. Seeing these dew point temperatures return maybe to the middle 40s for us here in KELOLAND. Even yesterday when sun came out, about 50 degrees we hit, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's starting to get that early spring type of feel to it. Sun angle continues to get better and better. Let's not forget to change our clocks this weekend.
Got to remind me of that.
I don't know.
This is the one where everybody, not everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I shouldn't
go
say
ahead.
everybody.
You can say it.
Some people will not like this one too much. But I have to travel this weekend, and I get back late on Saturday so that I, lose an hour's sleep. But that's okay. It's spring.
Yeah, right. So
or getting towards spring, I should say.
Getting towards, well, we have warm temperatures today, warm temperatures tomorrow. Temperatures do fall around the middle of the month, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that when we get there. But that's still the trend. And how long does that cold air actually last? There's our severe weather risk. This, again, is for tomorrow, that marginal risk. Thinking about hail more than anything else, right?
Yeah, and it's important that we bring this up because this actually attaches to the best, what I would say is the general thunderstorm outlook that we have for overnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. And what's going to drive our thunderstorms here will be what we call the low-level jet, or a little bit of instability aloft that's going to help to create the necessary ingredients for these thunderstorms. Don't count on it feeling warm and humid because that's not going to be the case here. But we'll have enough instability aloft to generate, lightning, something different, some thunder. So those kind of things are most likely to be occurring in northeast Nebraska, extreme southeast South Dakota, and portions of northwestern Iowa. And that's been a talking point of ours for a while. I did want to bring up, though, Scott, as we expand this conversation into Friday, the Storm Prediction Center now, of course, on this Day 3 outlook, they've got their marginal, slight, and enhanced risks here. The enhanced risk, including Kansas City, Missouri, where a pretty strong severe weather event. Obviously, a lot of things still yet to be, the exact determination on how these boundaries line up. But on face value right now, even a tornado outbreak, strong tornadoes already in the wording here out of the Storm Prediction Center for eastern Kansas and western Missouri. So if you have friends and family or other interests in that area, make sure you're watching the forecast. Even Omaha, Nebraska could get involved in some severe weather. Our vicinity, to my knowledge, and I looked through a lot of information this morning, the only model that's even hanging on to some of this would be the American model. Okay. And we've chosen to kind of maybe toss that one aside for right now. So it looks like most of this will go south. One thing about it, though, Scott, obviously, even this outlook for Thursday night and Friday morning, you still can get some thunderstorms, and It's the first of the season for us, so at least for Sioux Falls. Well, I know we've had a couple thunderstorms already.
A couple of lightning strikes here and there. I think we had, a couple of weeks ago north of Yankton, even getting close between, Brookings and Watertown. Maybe had a couple of lightning strikes, too, about 2-3 weeks ago.
They did, yeah. So we've had, a taste of some more dynamic weather. But, look at this surface map here on Friday morning. You've got a cold front coming into western South Dakota. You've got southerly winds ahead of that feature, so you have a good moisture convergence zone, and I think that those thunderstorms line up right near that front. And so that's our thinking there. I can even hit the play button to show kind of the animation of that as it tends to push that into southern Minnesota the rest of Friday morning. Now, you can see why we're kind of thinking then at that point we're on the backside of this because we've got a dominant northwest wind. Any of the leftovers, that's a word I'd like, or phrase I'd like to use, the leftovers, can you produce some snow in here? That's another question that's kind of nagging at us today. Certainly there is that chance. I don't want to discount that. I think that we're still lacking a lot of cold air.
Right. We're not connected to the cold air to the north, which will eventually try to move across the northern plains, but that will wait until the middle of the month. And we'll probably talk more about that in the next segment. But I want to bring this graphic up for you, Brian. You mentioned something called low-level jet, and I have to get back into the terminology. We have to get back into that type of thinking that will help fuel these thunderstorms. And I just wanted to, try to better illustrate something like that, maybe, more simple terms, as we're just looking at some of those winds and as you go up in the atmosphere, go in the higher layers of the atmosphere, but not too high. It's lower levels. And I'm just using the 850 millibar here as an example. So it does have these stronger winds coming in, and that's Friday. That's 9Z Friday. So that's around 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's where Futurecast is really starting to push the chances of these showers and thunderstorms in southeastern South Dakota throughout much of eastern Nebraska.
What's the peak wind on? I'm just curious on the color legends on that. So that's what, 50?
It gets in the 50s. Those are knots.
Yeah, so that's a pretty decent river of air just off the surface. And that, that conceptually in my mind, that perfectly feeds into that band of thunderstorms around Yankton. If you catch that wind cranking out of Lincoln, Nebraska at that time of the day, that should easily create some of that. And by the way, I think there's going to be some hail in some of those too. I think it's
the profile of the atmosphere. It's still cold as you go high. I mean, we're just in the beginning of March.
Freezing level, and you got to remember storm tops this time of year. Everything is short. Okay. And that even applies to Kansas and Missouri when we talk about the chance of severe weather and tornadoes. A lot of times this time of year, we deal with what we call these low-topped supercells or mini supercells, and they're basically because the depth of the troposphere. We're just that's a function of the season. It's March, and so the atmosphere has a long way to grow yet vertically. So a lot of this, you've got it perfectly set up there. That band of blue, what does that cover? Like Knox County, Nebraska.
And then it cuts right over the Vermilion, northwestern Iowa, and embedded in there. You look close; it's pointing out to 0.4 of an inch, and these are the 1 hour.
Yes,
precip
absolutely.
Numbers coming in.
Yep.
So if you're able to get some of that to go through, you can run through a period of heavy rainfall.
Yeah, and I'll do a little advertisement if anybody wants to get their rain gauge out today.
I've thought about that myself.
I think this would be a good time to do it. Get it out today or tomorrow. I guess you can do it tomorrow when it's in the 60s in Sioux Falls. And here's a little plug too. If you have ever wondered about, ways that you can help the meteorological community, the KELOLAND network. I was at a workshop yesterday with the National Weather Service, and we had a really good conversation about flood forecasting. And I know Travis is putting together a story about that today. We'll have more on the Doppler special at the end of March on that. But KELOLAND is a network of volunteer, just people like you and me, everybody else. If you love weather, if you find it interesting and you want to help, you can actually get a certified rain gauge. And essentially, it's the same. It's the KELOLAND rain gauge.
Right. Makes a great gift.
That's right.
As they say in the commercial.
And if you sign up for the KELOLAND network, you actually get one, which is kind of cool. And the state of South Dakota, I know our state climatologist, Laura Edwards, kind of teams that up. And it's a great thing because it's volunteers. You report your rain, your precipitation, snow forecast. I know you're bringing up some of the data off the KELOLAND network.
Right. Yep. Just trying to bring it up, give you an example.
Okay. Yeah. And there's a lot that goes into that, but it is good to promote that this time of year because we're getting into the time of the season when, we'd like to see those
There we go.
Rain totals. Look at all of those dots on the screen across the country. Those are individual
Oops, I did that again, didn't I?
folks that, they're helping us out. And not just locally, but in South Dakota, we have a program. Iowa, Minnesota, there are programs across the country, and they go through videos on how to do this.
Yeah, these are great videos, too.
Yeah, it's all scientific. It's all set up.
You found the perfect place to set up your rain gauge.
And they have
left
fun
it
making
outside to
videos.
collect precipitation.
It's like my
and now
backyard.
it's time to take
All right,
your
we
I
should
knew
daily
they
measure.
would do this
We
too.
should get off.
Gotta have some fun. How about kids too? Science projects or science teachers. What a great way to do an ongoing science, just measuring the precipitation. Think of the bar charts you could do and all sorts of good science. So
yeah.
check this out, cocoraz.org. Just a little plug for that.
And it's all, it's volunteers. I can go back, and you go back, do a range here too. Go back several days, see how much rain has fallen or snow. And it's all volunteer work. And it's a great system too. It's what we look at, behind the scenes. Tried to bring in some of these rain, snowfall reports. So
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because if you want to know how much snow did I get in our town, well, there's somebody, if somebody volunteers in your town, Brookings, Watertown. I mean, I know we get the
We've
official
brought
numbers.
it up on this program before and gone over a couple of those reports. And
Yeah.
we'll do it, we'll continue to do it too.
But those are the folks that every 24 hours give us an exact number. And we go by that number because that's what we have. We have to depend on people that are actually on the ground doing the work. The automated stations work as well, but we really do need to have those concrete numbers. Anyway, that's just my little tangent for the day.
Oh, that's great. Great to bring that stuff up.
Yes.
We have plenty more to talk about as cold air is expected to return as we get into about the middle of the month. We'll try to touch on that coming up. Stay with us. You're watching Weather or Not. Last segment for Whether or Not. And Brian, we're talking warm weather. We already talked about strong to maybe severe thunderstorms as we get into the later part of the week, Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll see how much moisture energy is around during the day on Friday. See if we get a thunderstorm to linger. But after that, and you've been mentioning this at least this week, maybe even going back to last week, we're not connected to any real cold air.
No. We got to look at air masses, and that's a big part of this. So until you have the fusion of, Arctic air or something that's out of Canada with the warm Gulf moisture, you don't see as big of storms, at least in terms of the major winter component behind it. So what do? We go right back to warm weather this weekend and probably lasting the first couple days of the week. Now this is showing some colder air intrusions, coming in probably mid next week or after, and that goes all the way, out to St. Patrick's Day?
Right.
And yes, it can get colder, but it also, in my view, and I think you agree too, that we're going to look at these pieces of cold that are going to run through, and it's northwest flow. So that can probably give us, these setbacks, but is it necessarily a blockbuster pattern for snow? Not really.
And how long does it last? I mean, let's think about this too. In January, we had the cold air last, 4 or 5 days. When we had the
that was below
cold,
zero.
When it was below zero. February, it took a while for it to show up, but it lasted another, 4 days maybe?
Yep,
And
not
then
long.
temperatures, quickly return closer to the average. Here we go, mid-March, and you got to think of the sun angle too. If you have a decent, if you have a nice sunny day, light wind, probably feel nice, I would think, with the better sun angle. In mid-March, you got to think this is still looking out 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. So it gives us a pause to say, we can go below normal for some segments in here. I think that's the way I would put it. I think you'll probably have more than one installment of that in that period of time. But then you're advertising, a chance of 70 on Monday.
Before this shows up.
Yep, it's going to warm up big time. But then Tuesday we drop things, and then we continue on that trajectory after that. So
yeah, that does show up on our 7-day too. Get
exactly
high of 70 on Monday. So yeah, March is known for temperature swings as well as February. We know February is known for temperature swings, and March just does the same thing.
Yeah, and
especially
even more
when you've been lacking the rainfall, lacking the precipitation, snow cover.
Yep, and so we'll be able to watch all of that mid-month. I think many of you are curious too as we get into official spring. Not far from the 10-day forecast now, is it?
No, right, and that's just it too. How long does this cold air actually last when it gets here? We'll just have to wait and see. But, can we handle a 4 or 5 day stretch? Oh, easily. Well, I think we can, if it even lasts that long.
As easy as February has been, I don't think anybody's going to be too concerned. And honestly,
my snowblower is still tucked in the back of the garage.
Okay.
I haven't put it away for the season yet. Just in case. Just in case.
There's something wrong about it. Doesn't jive, does it? Oh, I'm going to put my snowblower away, and it's all, March 4th, so probably got to keep it out technically for a while. And then there's always April. There, always something that can sneak in here. But see, even this here, Scott, this is a replay of our jet stream map. There's our snow ribbon right there, northwest of Sioux Falls. But as we've said before, notice how it's progressive. It moves in, moves out. This whole system actually gets sheared apart because of what's going on up here, this prevalent northwest wind. And then that gets us back into mild weather. Don't be surprised Sunday to hear about fire weather concerns.
Oh, yes.
That's a dry northwest wind. I wanted to mention that, too, because that's a whole different air mass. And then that gets us into Monday, which probably will be a red flag warning day, or, if we pick up enough wind, that could easily be a problem. There it is, that precipitation Tuesday night into Wednesday. But look at that. It becomes mainly a thunderstorm event and rain from Michigan down to Missouri, doesn't it?
And that's our cooling, too. So after the 10th, we'll probably start to see some cooling. Won't be an abrupt hit of cold air. I just want to label it as cooling. As we go ahead and check the outlook here on the European model, there's that warm weather, temperatures in the 60s Sunday, Monday, and we slowly start to fall. You may remember yesterday, we had more than 2 days with temperatures in the 20s. I think we had at least, 4, maybe 5 with temperatures in the 20s on their outlook. Now it's only showing 2.
Yes, it's and it will do that. These are things that, I can still tell you. I mean, if you see 25 and 3, that's kind of cold, but it's only for a day or two.
Right. It won't last long. So that's the way things look right now, and that's our time for Whether or Not. Have yourself a good day.